And we welcome you back to the district tournament and this championship game. We are at the Larry Walker Court inside the Walt Price Fitness Center, the campus of Everett Community College. It's a great setting for high school basketball, and it is the championship for the Wes-King boys for a district, and it's the Mount Si Wildcats and the Issaquah Eagles. Welcome back, Tom Lafferty, along with Shaheen Lotfi, and Alex Clausius is down on the floor, and he's going to be talking to the coach here in a moment. But Alex, first, the official had a little something to do, right?
Oh, yeah, that's way more official. But I do have Coach Valentine right here.
Okay.
Coach, 7 seed, underdog. You have to be honest with me. Did you expect to be here today?
I think in our locker room we did, but like I've been telling our guys, we're probably the only ones that expected us to be here. So we're happy to be here, but we also want to be here for a reason. We don't want to just be here to be here. So trying to get the guys to just make sure that we know that we're here, we're happy, but we're here to try to win too. So.
I mean, we're looking at them outside right here. Team that's been here before, just keeps on going and keep on reloading. They have some tall guys too. That is a couple 6'8" guys too. How do you prep for a team like this?
Yeah, it's really hard to try to emulate what they do, right? Because they're so big. Like, we worked on our post defense, but, I mean, our posts are hybrid posts. They're guys that we predominantly play on the perimeter. Like, Tate Smith is not a back-to-the-basket guy. So just trying to get our guys to really feed it into the post and then give us some looks out of it. But, yeah, hard to emulate 6'8", 6'8", and 6'7". So pretty good-sized team. So not much to say other than you just got to try your best.
Last question. Give me a quick, 5 starters rundown.
Yeah, our 5 starting group is senior heavy. Carter DeBrill's kind of a sneaky junior in there for us, but we're really led by Dedeker and Smith, 2 guys that can shoot it and score it in a variety of ways. So hopefully we can space these tall trees out and have some good looks there. So looking forward to it.
Good luck with the trees, Coach.
Okay, thanks very much, AC. Down with head coach Brad Valentine of the Issaquah Eagles. He'll make his way over to see Coach Jason Griffith of the Mount Si Wildcats, and we'll get his opening comments. He's already there, so let's go back down to AC.
Thanks again, Tom. Here with Coach. Coach, you guys have a timeshare up here? I feel like we see you here all the time. Up here at Everett Community College for a little Wes-King. What's it feel like to be back?
We're just excited to be up here playing another district championship game. Excited for Issaquah. They keep getting better throughout the year, and they're a deserving team to be here.
Talk about this year's team versus the other teams of the Mount Si Pass. What's a little bit different about this one?
Our depth's a little different. We're not as deep as we have been in years past, but we're a little longer through the 3 through 5 spot. And so we can play inside out a little bit more this year compared to previous years. But yeah, overall, we're a talented team.
Give us a little quick rundown of your 5 starters.
Blake's our guy that gets us going. Super quick, super athletic. Makes plays for his teammates, makes everybody better on the floor, can shoot it from deep. Trevor's one of the better wings around. He keeps coming back from his back injury and just getting better and better. Athletically, he keeps getting better. Bennett Alujic is kind of a guy that does it all. He's Swiss Army knife, 6'6", 6'7". Plays strong inside, can shoot the 3. Cyrus Turley's a guy that not very many people know that much about, but gives us good length at the 4. 6'8", he's continued to get better. He came out football season, so that's to be expected. And then the man in the middle, who we feel is the best big in the state, super unselfish man that just wants to help the team win.
And that's Miles, correct?
Tidy, yeah.
He can get it. He's a tall guy. I can see that right there, right next to him. Well, Coach, thanks so much. Good luck tonight.
Thanks very much, AC, with head coach Jason Griffith of the Mount Si Wildcats. So, Shaheen Lotfi, is Miles Heide the best big man in the state?
He is, and he might have been for the last couple of years.
And he's heading for
Oregon State.
San
Diego State.
San Diego State. AC,
Yep,
you got that?
San Diego State. Yep.
Yeah, I had to stand next to him. I felt really small. I had to look it up.
That's right, San Diego State.
Okay. And by the time he's a senior, they could be in the Pac-12.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, now that you say that, I didn't think about that, but absolutely. No, listen, Coach talked a little bit about not being as deep. That's definitely graded on a curve. They've always been deep, and so maybe not as much as years past. But when you look at this team, like he said, they are long. They have a lot of experience. They're going to be just fine, even if they have to go to their bench a little bit.
and they score up in the 80s a lot. 85, 89. You can see some scores, 81. So the 91, they beat Newport 91 to 66. But let's talk about the Issaquah Eagles. AC asked Coach if he was surprised that they were here. They said, in the room, we're not surprised. Are you surprised that they're here?
Yeah, I would say earlier in the season, I'm very surprised they're here. And honestly, like the win against Skyline really says something. The way that they've grown throughout the year. This Issaquah team, they brought back a couple key guys after last year, and when we faced them too, you could see they got better throughout the year. That win against Skyline's a real good team. They beat Mount Si.
Right.
I watched that game, and Skyline has athletes. They have really good coaching discipline, and I'm really surprised this isn't a Mount Si Skyline matchup again. The games have been tight. They split, but that just goes to show you what Issaquah did over the course of the season.
And we talk so much with basketball coaches, well, for that matter, any coach, you want to be playing your best basketball when you get into the first week in February and heading toward March. Well, the Issaquah Eagles lost their last regular season game 78 to 52 to Mount Si, and then Kingco, they win against Bothell and win against Newport. Wes-King, they had to go to the play-in game because where they were seated, beat Bothell 57-36, beat Jackson 56-51, and beat Skyline the other night 55-54. 5 wins in a row in the postseason.
Hey, and you know what? That's a journey, first of all. Second of all, when you get that seeding and you have to go through that, it's really tough to be here tonight. So, testament to these guys, the effort that they bring, and honestly, that coaching staff for Issaquah does such a phenomenal job. It's been, I don't want to say it's been fun to watch them grow because we play against them twice a year, but I'm really happy for him, for that coaching staff. They put in a lot of work. They care about these kids, and it's great that we use basketball as a tool for leadership, but you're seeing the basketball get better with these guys.
So Issaquah comes to 15-9 overall, 6-7 in Kingco, state RPI of number 18. You should be surprised if they're here in the district tournament championship game. Mount Si, only 2 losses during the regular year. They lose to Skyline, as you mentioned, by 4, 62-58 back on December 16th. Then they win umpteen in a row and then lose to Kent Ridge on the Martin Luther King Day, 60-55. And then since then, they've done nothing but wins. And in the postseason, Kingco, they beat North Creek 92-73. They beat Skyline 71-62, beat Lake Stevens by 20, 74-54, and beat Mariner the other night. And Mariner, we see a couple times a year, they're really pretty good. They're one of the only team from the Western Conference going to the regionals. They beat them by 31, 81-50.
And you just mentioned, like, some of these teams that they beat, they're good teams. To beat North Creek by 20, North Creek's a really good team.
Yeah.
They have Drew Jensen. He is a great scorer. They had success last year. They brought a lot of guys back, and so like for them to start getting wins like that towards the end of the season is what really shows you that it seems to be clicking for them.
Mount Si comes in 22-2 in overall, 12-1 in Kingco play this year. State RPI number 2 behind probably the team to beat, Federal Way.
Federal Way. Oof. I didn't get a chance to see them too many times this year, but all the buzz is about that team, and it sounds like it's gonna be fun down in Tacoma this year. There's some squads,
and we shall see what happens. And we're going to take a break, come back, have a look at the starting lineups and game action. It's the 4A Wes-King Boys Championship game. It's the Mount Si Wildcats, Issaquah Eagles. We return to Everett Community College after this timeout.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
go. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, and they're going to introduce them down on the field as we come back to air here and get set for the 4A Boys Wes-King Championship for Mount Si. We got some first names and not all of them, so we will give you Mount Si. They'll start Blake Forrest, a 5'11 junior, Trevor Hennig, a 6'4 junior, Bennett Alujic, a 6'7 senior, Cyrus Turley, a 6'8 senior, and Miles Heidi, a 6'9 senior. 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". I got a feeling when Eastlake gets off the bus and you walk into the gym at Mount Si, you go, yeah, this is going to be a long night.
That's honestly, it's a real thing when you start guys with that type of length. As much as you try to prepare your team and get them not to worry about it, they all look and they all see. There's nothing you could do.
And they know that next year they'll be sitting on a Saturday afternoon watching them on TV, right?
And that's what you try to tell these kids. Like, go have a story, go have a moment, have some impact, and do something against someone that you're going to be able to talk about later.
Yeah. Like you said, you make a story. I played against him in high school, you know, and we held him to 43.
I have a lot of those.
How about the other guys the other way? Played you? No, not so many stories.
They all know me, but you know,
nice,
I wasn't the
nice guy.
I wasn't the guy. I always guarded the guy, but I wasn't the guy.
For Issaquah, their starters, their head coach Brad Valentine, William Kadoski, a 5'11 senior, Charlie Rorda, a 6'1 junior, Tate Smith, a 6'6 senior, Chase Dideker, a 6'2 senior, and Carter DeBrule, a 6'2 junior. So across the front line, they go 6'2", 6'2", 6'2", compared to 6'7", 6'8", and 6'9". So the definite height advantage for the Mount Si Wildcats in this one. And so we shall see Mount Si and Issaquah. Issaquah even brought the cheerleaders, and nice crowd remained on hand as we watched earlier the girls game. Let's give you the rundown of the scores that we've had here so far today. And the 3A boys, winner to regional loser, gets to advance to tomorrow. Mount Vernon beat Marysville Getchell 69-68. Shorecrest beat Everett 58-50. So Everett and Marysville Getchell will play tomorrow for that last chance qualifier going to the regionals. The 4A Wes-King Girls Championship goes to Woodville. They beat Eastlake, final of 55-43. Both those teams will go to regionals. There were games last night in the 3A girls. It went to double overtime, and Linwood beat Everett 70-60. So in their last two games, Everett has played 5 overtime games. The Everett girls. It was 70-60 last night with Linwood, and it was Meadowdale over Snohomish, 64-26. So Everett and Snohomish play tomorrow afternoon here at 2 o'clock. Marysville Getchell and Everett boys play at 4 o'clock. Then the 6 o'clock game will be the 3A Girls Championship for the district. Arlington against Stanwood for the umpteenth year in a row, the Stilley Cup. And then the 3A Boys Championship will be the Arlington Eagles and the Mountain Lake Terrace Hawks. That's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. The 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock games will be right here on STSPN.com and on KRKO. So it'll be a simulcast tomorrow. So hope you'll join us then. But we're getting set for some 4A Wes-King Championship basketball. And we'll have tonight's opening tip-off and game action coming up right after this timeout.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
are ready for some high school basketball. The district championship will be decided here for the boys out of the Kingco League. Both teams, the Western Conference, only going to be represented by the Mariner Marauders boys. All 3 girls teams and 2 of the 3 boys teams lost out in the Wes-King tournament early on. So here is the championship, and it's Mount Si against and Issaquah. Tony Cherlin from Snohomish County is the referee. He's got the basketball. Scott Federley, who's refereeing in his final year, and Scott Federley's been around a long, long time.
Oh yeah, he we every time he comes into the gym, he comes and says hi. He knows everybody everywhere he goes.
And Meade Fenton, also out of the Seattle Association. But Scott Federley's a guy, when he walks in the gym, you say, okay, it's going to be a good game tonight.
Yes, you do know that he controls the game. He's been doing it a long time, right?
And immediately off the jump, Cyrus Turley will get the first 2 points of the ball game for Mount Si Wildcats, and they lead it here early on. Now moving it down is Issaquah. Issaquah in the black uniforms, trimmed in purple and gold, and going in, and little runner up and in. That's good for William Kadoski, and we are tied at 2. A little early offense there for the Issaquah Eagles.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do against Miles Heidi. I assume they're going to bring the double, just given the difference in length.
There's Heidi there, off the glass and in. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? And they did bring that double. It just came late. He spun the other way, and that's what you do when you're a kid that's gonna play at San Diego State next year.
Swinging to the corner for Issaquah. Moving to our right, top of the key, Kardoski. Looking down low. And not only are they good on offense, but Mount Si good on defense too.
Very disciplined, hands high. I mean, listen, you got Miles Heidi protecting the rim, so you're going to be okay for the most part.
Down it goes! Any questions?
Saw that coming from a mile away. I try to finish my sentence quickly because he saw the alley-oop coming from Blake Forrest to Miles Heidi. That was awesome. You'll probably see a couple more.
Beautifully done there. The rebound is going to be controlled here by the. That's the thing. You got Heidi there, but you got the guys that can feed him the ball too.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, these 2 kids, Blake Forrest and Trevor Hennig, they are phenomenal players.
Going in, backdoor feed, Cyrus Turley with the bucket, and it's an 8-2 ball game. Mount Si out to a 6-point lead, and we are just 2 minutes into this district championship game. Both teams will advance. They'll go to the regionals next week, but I'm guessing Mount Si will be one of the top 2 seeds. They're number 2 right now. Here's a miss by Issaquah, grabbed by Mount Si. Aside from the days when Mount Si, up in Snoqualmie, was just a little town.
It's a little town. Now they're pulling from one of the biggest schools. They remodeled. They have 6 gyms in that school. I think they pulled from 9,000 kids. I mean, their sports you're going to watch. Mount Si in football as well and basketball. They're coming.
Yeah, we saw Mount Si come down to play Lake Stevens in a playoff game a couple of years ago. So
yeah,
and Lake Stevens beat them, but they were good. That's Charlie Canoon, right? The head coach up at Mount Si on the football side.
That's right.
Elevating, almost I thought the shot was going to go up, but Issaquah has it. It's 8-2 the lead, 5:14 to go, opening quarter. As Issaquah moves it down, that is Charlie Rorda. Kick it back out to Kardoski. He'll kick it in the corners. 3 on the way, rims out, tough luck shot. That would not go there for Rorda. The rebound's controlled by Mount Si. Wildcats with it and the lead at 8-2. 4:53 to play in the opening quarter. That's Miles Heidi at 6'9", and he just goes around the defense, and there's nothing you could do. You stand there and you have to kind of watch, or else you grab on for the ride.
If you're going to play behind him, you got to bring the double. I'll tell you that right now. If you're going to play behind Miles Heidi tonight, it's going to be barbecue chicken. He's going to get layups all day.
And here is a timeout called by Brad Valentine as the lead expands out to a 10-4 ball game. We will take a break and come back. More of the 4A Boys Wes-King Championship coming up right after this timeout.
not here to take part. We're here to take over. I am the beast.
So Shaheen Lotfi, you like that timeout, right?
Like the timeout. Got another bucket for Issaquah. Settle your guys down. It's a 6-point game. Gotta keep them engaged.
As now Mount Si working it. That's Blake Forrest now out for a 3 ball. Down it goes. Just like that, Trevor Hennig buries the 3, and it opens up now to a 9-point lead, biggest lead of the contest here in the early going for Mount Si. The Wildcats and the Eagles. Baseline's closed off there as Issaquah looking on the attack, looking for a screen there. Coming down, Chase Dideker. Now give it off, going in, laying up and good. Nice lay in there, coming up, and that is Karnowski with the bucket, and it's 13-6, 7-point lead for Mount Si. Wildcats in the white uniforms with very hard to read numbers from this high up. It trimmed in red, and here's a 3 ball up and in. Wow, Blake Forrest.
Blake Forrest, known as the ball hawk on defense, but total stud, great athlete, and if you see any 50-50 balls, he's likely going to be getting them.
So the lead is 10, and they'll try to answer on the other end with a 3 that won't go. That's a miss there for Tate Smith. And Mount Si will control. Up fake there, they'll go down. There's Miles Heidi. You just bounce it to him right there in the area.
Yeah, too easy.
Well, like you said during the break, it's almost like it's effortless for him.
Yeah, it is, and that's why you got to bump him, and you got to make him feel you before he gets the ball. Don't let him just run in the path of least resistance. Give him as much as you can.
Going in, they kind of fall asleep a little bit on defense there, and Carter DeBrule with the bucket. Makes it 18-8, 2:39 to play, opening quarter here at Everett Community College. Walt Price Student Fitness Center at ECC. You have 2 teams out of Kingco, one from up in Snoqualmie. They had to drive here to Everett, but it's a great facility. And you didn't know who was going to be in the final game when you make the plans on where the championship's going to be. A miss on the end there for Mount Si. Issaquah will try to answer here. That's Kadowski. They swing to the corner. Rorda, that's closed off there. 11 to shoot. Back out on top. It's a long outside 3 that won't go for Dideker. And rebound controlled by Mount Si.
Would like to see a little bit more movement on offense for Issaquah. They run that 5 out, but they got everyone standing. You know, and that's not going to do it against this team.
Back to the basket as they just rifle the pass back out top of the key to Forrest. Now right back down underneath. Heidi says, I don't need it. I'll give it off to my teammate. Ball goes off of Issaquah and out of bounds into the Issaquah cheerleaders here on the near side. Heidi could have easily gone up for a lay-in. He thought, I'll get an assist on my score sheet.
Yeah, again, it's almost effortless. It's like, no, I'm not going to take this easy layup this time. Maybe I'll pass it this time.
And then Issaquah says, don't be patronizing with us. Here's a shot up, no good. Missed by Hennig. The lead is 10. We're coming up on 1:22 to play in a quickly played first quarter here at Everett Community College. Little spin move and then blocked out of there. Grabbed by Mount Si. They bring it up. The ball goes out of bounds. So a turnover here. Give it right back over to Issaquah.
Excited to see Jake Bonofsky get in the game. He didn't play that much in the beginning of the season, and from everything I've heard as they close out the season, he's been getting more tick.
And sophomore. And here's a near steal. It is a steal. Grabbed by Mount Si, going in, laying up. Very good. Blake Forrest with the steal and the bucket, and it's out to a 12-point lead here in this first quarter, 20-8.
That's what Blake Forrest does. Like I said, ball hawk. He's usually in the mix defensively.
They'll work it now. Issaquah will. 14 to shoot. Dribbling down. Ball blocked out. Blocked out of there right into the hands of a teammate. Trevor Hennig will bring it out of backcourt. Nice block inside. Outside 3 on the way. Bang! Down it goes. Jake Bonofsky, just as you mentioned him.
Just like that.
23 points in the quarter here for the Mount Si Wildcats. Well on their way to scoring a hundy tonight. I don't think they will, because they're going to want to worry about the regionals here in a week. Here's an outside three ball that will not go for Smith. Down to 3, down to 2. Well, it's going to go in. Of course, and
In and out.
We've played 8 minutes, and Mount Si scored 23 points. It's 23-8. The Wildcats leading the Issaquah Eagles. Second quarter coming up right here on STSPN.com.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
Full practice, Witch Doctor requesting immediate hot extract taken on.
Here on the team, you know, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boats.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
So begging the question, Shaheen, how good is Federal Way if these guys are 2?
Yeah, well, that's what's scary. We were talking about, you know, the Tacoma Dome earlier. That's where we get to see the matchups.
And standing on the out-of-bounds line, Issaquah kind of an unforced error there. They
Can't have that.
No.
You can't have that if you're Issaquah playing a team like Mount Si. Those little mistakes that get in your own way.
Yeah,
got to limit those.
William Stroh with his foot out of bounds, so turn it over and give it to Mount Si, leading it 23-8, a 15-point lead here. As they work it around, outside 3 on the way, rattles off, no, Forrest with a miss. Ball goes out of bounds, last touch by Mount Si, so it'll be Issaquah basketball.
I promise you that's not on the scouting report to give Blake an open 3 like that. He will hit that.
Yeah, before the evening's over, you got to figure a couple of those are going to go down. Dribble drive to the baseline. Vincent Crow closed off there, stopped the dribble, kick it back out on top again. Kate Smith, and the ball is going to be stripped away and grabbed by Mount Si as they work it up the floor. Nice job defensively inside there by Trevor Hennig, and that's Hennig on the other end. No, it's not Hennig, excuse me. That was Olujic. It's hard to read the numbers, sorry. As they work it now. Issaquah with it, 6:40 to play in the first half, 23-8. As they work it in the corner, outside 3, bang, down it goes. We're going to fix that's a brand new net up there too, and it got tied up there. That last basket by William Stroh for the Issaquah Eagles, now down by a dozen, 23-11. Shocker, a minute and a half in, and they haven't scored yet. They tried a backdoor feed, and they couldn't do it. It's going to be knocked away. Getting up slowly there is Olujic, still coming back to join the party on the defense. The shot in the corner, that's going to be no good by Dedeker, and the rebound controlled by Mount Si.
You see what happens, though. You get a couple stops, and even if they hit that shot, then you're within 10, you know?
Here's a steal. It's going to be grabbed here by Vincent Kroll, going in, lay-in, no, won't go, and the rebound grabbed down by who else? Blake Forrest, shortest guy on the floor. Then we're going to have they're going to get Heidi for the foul, as you got a Issaquah Eagle.
That's a big man to run into right there. I'll tell you what. Griff not happy with that foul. Unnecessary bump screen at half court. Pressure wasn't there. He's not happy about that one. Pulls him right out.
And he's out with his second personal foul. So see how long he has to sit. Going in, laying up, good.
And then what happens? You take Heidi out, and they go and get a layup.
They did, and it's down to a 10-point lead now, 23-13. Now Issaquah will work it without Heidi. Miles Heidi has to sit with 2 personal fouls. as they'll work the perimeter here. They go near side to Bonofsky. 12 to shoot.
That's the guy.
Down low, ball's going to be swatted out of there, but retained there by the Wildcats. I thought the ball was going to go out of bounds, but it was high in the air. And
Jack Taylor just in the game got offensive rebound.
And I think they're wondering, the shot clock did reset, and there was not a shot. I think that's what the officials are talking about, because it was at 23, right? They went cross court a couple of times, and there was a shot. Yeah, they're going to put, looks like 14 on the 15 on the shot clock.
And Mount Si comes back with Blake Forrest, which is a good call. You got Blake and Trevor. Those are probably the two guys you're looking at to take over with Miles out of the game.
They'll throw it in with now 15 on the shot clock. They work it deep in the corner. Backing in there is Ologic, because the ball's going to be taken away from him. So good defense there by Tate Smith for Issaquah, and up the floor they come. Save from going out of bounds, as Crow almost had the ball go out of bounds. He saved it, got it back out, and then tapped out of bounds by Mount Si.
You have to capitalize. That's an open layup.
Yeah.
He just lost an open layup because he wasn't ready to catch the ball. If you're Issaquah, you have to capitalize there.
Dideker on the dribble. To the top it goes to Kodosky. He'll spin against the defense. Kick it back out to Smith. Down to 11 to shoot now. Dideker goes in. Now they kick it in the corner for a three, and down it goes. Nice three ball in the corner. And that was Vincent Crow with the bucket. He's got 3 points, his first 3 points of the ball game for Crow. Down to 21 to shoot here. Coming up on 4:15 to play, and an air ball goes up. It's going to be no good by Jake Moore. And that'll be a turnover and give it over to Issaquah.
Coach Brad Valentine getting excited on the sideline. It's fun to watch. His guys are on a run right now, 7-point game against the number 2 team in the state. That's got to be exciting.
It was 12, it's now 7 as they work it down low, and we're going to have a travel call on. Yep. Too many steps, we'll turn it over, and that will be Mount Si basketball. 3:58 to play in the first half. Both these teams will go into the state tournament. Mount Si definitely be one of the top seeds. Probably will have a fairly easy time of it next weekend in the regionals. Issaquah, I'm guessing, will go in the bottom half. They'll have to win their way in. Dribbling it in, bounce it down low. It's going to go down, really down low to Cyrus Turley. Kick it back on top again to Taylor. Down to 3 to shoot. Way outside by the logo, off the rim, no good. As he had no choice but to hoist it up there. And it's going to be, that was Jack Taylor now going in, laying up. I thought there was an extra step, but Chase Dideker puts it up and in, makes it a 5-point ball game, 23-18.
Chase with the game winner against Skyline last game, so he's still riding high.
Going in, laying up, missed it, no good. Rebound controlled by Issaquah. Chance to pull it to within 3. Could be 2 with a 3 ball. As they work it now, Issaquah, Mount Si has not scored in the quarter. It was 23-8 at the quarter. Outside shot, that's going to be no good. A miss there by Vincent Crow. Issaquah's taken a little bit of an advantage, but not too much. Still down by 5, 2:37 to play in the first half. Dribbling in, Trevor Hennig, and a foul called. They haven't called many fouls. This is going to be on Issaquah. This is going to be their first foul of any kind here in this half. And they will whistle this one. It's going to be called on Tate Smith, his first team foul. 2.5 minutes to play. Inbounds here for Mount Si.
Mount Si a little out of whack offensively. Good backdoor cut by Trevor Hennig finishing. I'll tell you what, Trevor Hennig last year before the back injury was probably the best player in the state. He is a phenomenal player, and I know Coach was talking about before the game, he's still getting healthy from that injury, but he is a solid player, and he'll be playing at the next level as well.
His little put-up shot, no good, missed by Kodosky. And down to 2 minutes to play, and Mount Si with it, leading it by 7, 25-18. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Issaquah's Tate Smith. So Wildcat retained possession. Inbound to the baseline.
A little stagnant on offense since Miles Heide went out of the game.
Yeah. Way out topside to Blake Forrest. Kind of directs traffic here. He'll give it off and then dribbling in, laying up good. And one for Henning. He'll try for a three-point play at the stripe. And it's going to be Carter DeBrule would pick up the foul, his first personal, second team foul. And free throw here for Trevor Hennig. Smooth.
Very smooth, polished, great footwork, inside, outside, can jump, got a good shot. At one point, he was shooting over 70% from the three-point line. So if that tells you what kind of player he is, he's a shooter and does it from all levels.
Yeah, what you gonna do though? He missed the free throw. He tried to English it in too. He kind of bent his back to say, "Come on, go in there." Wouldn't do it. Going in for a revert, trying for a lay-in, couldn't get it. Tate Smith with the miss, rebound partially blocked there, and now controlled by Mount Si. Minute 18 to play in the first half. They lead it by 9 points.
Partially blocked by the smallest player, Blake Forrest, maybe the best defender on the court.
Backing down with it is Alucic. Bennett is going to get fouled.
It's really bailing him out there in the corner. That's the second time they've done that. Bennett's putting his head down and he's dribbling in the corner. And guess what? The defense wants you to do that, and it's a turnover every time. He got lucky right there, but he needs to stop putting the ball down in the corner there.
Dedeker picks up his first personal foul, third team foul. Baseline out of bounds here on the inbounds. It comes to Blake Forrest. For Mount Si. To Hennig. Goes to the baseline, lost the handle on it. Ball knocked out of bounds by Kodosky. He knocked out of bounds and he pointed the other way like it's our ball. And Scott Federley says, "I've been doing this a long, long time. There's no possible way it's off of him."
It's always your ball, isn't it?
Down low, going in, nicely done, laying up and in. You like that play?
I do. This is, they were able to keep Miles on the bench for the whole second quarter here after he got in foul trouble, and he's trying to extend that lead back to where it was.
Down to 37 seconds to go. As Issaquah trying to work it, going in, turnaround jumper by Dedeker won't go. Rebound controlled and then knocked out of bounds. Dedeker did the same thing. Knocked the ball out of bounds and pointed, "Hey, it's ours." Oh, okay. I've never seen an official say, "Yeah, you know what, you're right."
You know what? I didn't get a good look at that. Maybe I'll trust you on this one. That's never happened.
About a half-second difference between the shot clock and game clock, so 23 to shoot, and they will play 4-1.
6 points this quarter from outside, huh?
Yep, it was 23-8 at the quarter. So see, well, not 6 yet. They've still got 10 seconds to work the ball as they start the offense now. They'll dump it down low. Oh, blocked from behind. They're going to call a foul. They're going to call goaltending. And then I had a foul down here by Tony Cherlin. Cherlin put up the fist for a foul. Scott Federley called basket interference.
Who's to say it's not going to be both?
It could be both. And it's going to be... Nope. They took off the foul, which both coaches say, that's fine. Yeah. We don't need to give somebody a foul. So you don't usually see that when they wave each other off. They're coming down. Dedeker will shoot a long three at the horn. It'll be an air ball. Okay, and we're going to go down to AC, talking with head coach Jason Griffith here in just a moment as they gather around the coach down on the sideline. As they're going to make their way to the locker room, they'll let Issaquah make their way out of there first. And then Alex will check in with head coach Jason Griffith. They have a 31-18 lead. Let's go downstairs to AC.
Coach, end of the second quarter really saw some momentum going. How do we keep that going into the second half?
We just got to get back to what we were doing in the first quarter. We executed, we shared the ball. Obviously, Miles picking up his second foul, changed the second quarter a little bit, but we'll get back going in the third.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
There you go. Thanks, AC, with head coach Jason Griffith. probably it's not bad when you have to pull your star player off. He's got 2 personal fouls. I can guarantee it. He's going to get in foul trouble either in the regionals or the second day of the state tournament in Tacoma Dome. You're going to have to play with that depth.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, obviously for this game, I know Griff's not happy with the way he played in the second quarter, but I'm sure he's fine with that. These guys are getting some experience without Miles in the game. Every team that they're going to face is going to put a plan against him, so they're going to have people step up. And like I said, Trevor and Blake, those two are ballers, and they're going to be fine, but they need to make sure that they know their role once Miles comes off the court.
Well, and it's not like you're hiding your best player. Everybody has a huddle. You got a password, you go click, 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 and you watch his last 5 games, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So no surprises. No surprises. I know Griff. I even saw him at halftime coaching one of the players that didn't even play that much, coaching him hard on the angles and his shoulders. He was my coach, an assistant coach when I played, and so just the type of coach he is, I know he's going to be getting into them right now and trying to get them to focus up.
We are halftime. We'll have the second half coming up here. Take a look at the first half scoring as well. Our score at the half. The Mount Si Wildcats 31, the Issaquah Eagles 18. Second half coming up right here at STSPN.com. Clear.
Right side is brought down for player of the game, senior libero Lauren Wes-King has control.
Championship district tournaments, we have it here on STSPN.
We at Gene Johnson are here and ready to help with our touch-free service. Being clean and safe are at the top of our minds. We're using gloves, masks, shoe covers, and lots of hand sanitizer. Our software allows us to get your approval without any physical contact. We hope you don't need us, but if you do, we're ready. Gene Johnson, clean, on time, and professional.
Welcome you back here live to Everett Community College, where our score at the half is 31-18, Mount Si leading Issaquah. And we're going to see if we can catch up with the head coach, Brad Valentine of the Issaquah Eagles. Let's go down to AC.
Thanks, Tom. Coach, saw some great momentum in that second quarter. How do you guys keep that up going into second half, and also what was the message of the team at halftime?
Yeah, the message was we got to keep moving the ball. We've gotten stuck and stranded in some spots, and it's gotten sticky, and then we take some bad ones, and then that's how they get their momentum. Got Heidi in foul trouble, felt kind of good, cut it to 6, took some bad ones there, and then now we're on down 13. First start here for the first 3 to 4 minutes. We got to move the ball and attack the paint, and then keep it moving. So
awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Well, thanks, AC, with head coach Brad Valentine. And you were nodding your head, Shaheen, while he was talking. This first 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Most important of the game right here, especially given the situation. I was hoping we were going to ask Coach Brad Valentine a little bit about, the suit. I want to know how many suits he's got in his closet. He's always the best dressed in Kinko. I'll tell you that right now.
Is he really?
From the coach's standpoint, he's always the best dressed.
So he sets the bar very high?
He does, which is kind of opposite of me. I'm kind of like, I want to put my sneakers on. I want a hoodie. I like to get loud and bend and get in defensive stance while I'm coaching, but no. He's a real coach. He does it right, and he look good, play good.
Got a balanced scoring for the Issaquah Eagles. 4 points for Kadaski, 4 points then for Chase Dideker, 3 for Vincent Crow, and 3 points for William Stroll. For the Mount Si Wildcats, Hennig has 7 points, and then Bennett Olochik has 4 points. Blake Forrest has 5.
So he didn't mention it, but they really need Tate Smith. Issaquah really needs Tate Smith to step up here. He's the second leading scorer in Kinko, and he has 0 points at half.
Yep.
So you're not going to win too many games when your best player has a donut up there on the scoreboard. So hopefully we get to look to see some sets or something to help him get going. If he can get to the free throw line, if you can run something to give him some open court, but they really need to get Tate Smith going if they want to make some noise in the second half.
Yeah, they did pull to within 6. It's 31-18 now, a 13-point lead. And I'm just waiting for him to change up the scoreboard. I think Heidi, is he out there? He is.
Yeah, he's out there. He's back on the court.
All right, so they have
He had 8 points in the first half.
Yeah, he's not up on the scoreboard yet. We're using the scoreboard as our book tonight, and they'll get that all straightened out. It's a nice scoreboard here at Everett Community College. Gives you the fouls and the points right up on the board. So here we go, second half underway, and that's Miles Heidi with the basketball now, backing in, double teamed, which is probably not new for him, as Mount Si now working to back it in. Tough defense on low, but going in, easy lay-in. Bennett Olochik with the bucket. Check it, it was Trevor Hennig. Hennig with the bucket, and he's got 9 points in the ball game. And the lead is 15 at 33-18. That's their biggest lead of the game. Corner jumper won't go. Carter DeBrule with the miss for Issaquah. And out of backcourt comes Hennig. And he threw the pass and then just put up his arms like, what is going on? Turnover.
Cyrus is a quarterback. He's not used to catching those balls,
Yeah, that's right. So it's going to be now over to Issaquah, down by 15. We're a minute in to the third quarter. And they're going to call the offensive foul there. Tate Smith, you said you want to get Tate Smith involved. Not like that, Bill.
Trevor's good at getting those calls. He gets one about a game. Yeah,
sneaky,
a little sneaky. Yeah, and there was a little. I don't think Tate hit him that hard, and he flew back, but that's okay. That's part of the game, right?
Yeah.
He had position, and took one to the chest.
Heidi has it. Miles Heidi. He's got 8 points in the ball game, as you mentioned. Long cross-court pass, saved from going out of bounds there. As they're working out a Heidi again at the baseline.
Here comes the double.
And so he kicks it back out to Oluchik. He puts up the arm, goes in, laying up, no. But reset on the shot clock, down low again. This one won't go, but he'll have to earn him at the stripe. Bennett Alujic got it, and he'll have to go to the stripe here as the foul is going to be called. And it's going to be on Tate Smith, his second personal foul.
Couple possessions in a row. Double team comes. Heidi's passing it back out, just what Issaquah defense wants to do. But then here comes Bennett. 2 times down the lane, put his shoulder down, got to the cup. Lay up the first time, free throws this time.
First free throw is good. And another will ensue here for Bennett Alujic. Got 5 points in the game. Make it 6 with the next free throw. And it's 35-18. Biggest lead of the game now for Mount Si, up by 17 points over their Kinko mates, the Issaquah Eagles. Shot of the way, that won't go. Tate Smith been trying, but that one wouldn't fall. As Blake Forrest dumps a pass down low. Down to the floor, no call there.
That's the same call.
Didiker looked at the official and goes, what? I stood right there and he knocked me over. And the official says, get up, let's play. And they'll bring it out of backcourt. They bring it down to the baseline, closed off there for Rorda. Now give it off to Smith. Smith, little change of direction, puts it up and got swatted.
You know what? I like seeing it. It's 3 possessions in a row. It hasn't been great, but he's going. And he's getting the ball and he's being aggressive. Now he has an opportunity at the free throw line to get a little rhythm, you know, hopefully see the ball go in and feel it, because we talked about these first few minutes of this half and how important that was for Issaquah, but look what Mount Si did, 37-18. Just like that.
Free throw, good. And so it'll be one more coming up here for Tate Smith. That's only his first point of the ball game.
Second leading scorer in Kinko.
He's got 2 points and a timeout called here by Brad Valentine of the Issaquah Eagles. We step out with 5:48 to go in the third. Mount Si 37, Issaquah 20. Back with more from Everett Community College after this timeout.
We're not here to take part. We're here to take over. I am the beast.
Mount Si leads by 17, 37-20. They've only lost twice in the year. They lost to Alex Clausius's beloved Skyline Spartan 62-58 back in mid-December. They lost to Kent Ridge 60-55 in the Martin Luther King tournament. Mount Si with the bucket here. No, not with the bucket. A miss. Heidi almost called for over and back. He just kind of stood up and said, not me, I'm out of here. And so Issaquah will take possession and they'll run it. Kodosky now to Didiker. Goes around a couple of defenders, swings it back out. I thought it was going to be a 3 on the way. Instead, they find an open lane to the hoop. It's up and it's in. Nice move there by Carter DeBrule, and it's 37-22. DeBrule has 4 points in the ball game. We're at 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Now Mount Si moving it. They get it down to Heidi. Saved it from going out of bounds. Found a teammate. The putback up no good. A miss there. Miss for Turley. And then the foul's called. It's going to be on Kodosky. Picks up the foul. That's his first personal foul. Third team foul. Out of bounds here. Baseline. Fresh 30 on the shot clock for Mount Si. Working it is Kodosky. Now to Heidi at the baseline. He'll hook a pass over. Nice pass. Beautiful pass to Turley.
Good control. Double came, found the open man under the basket.
And we have a timeout called here by the Mount Si Wildcats after the bucket. 4:40 to play in the third quarter. We'll keep it right here. Remind you, games coming your way tomorrow here at the gym and then on STSPN. First two games, no television, but it'll be the 2 o'clock game. It'll be 3A girls. Loser out, winner to regionals. The Everett Seagulls and the Snohomish Panthers at 2 o'clock here at the Walt Price Student Fitness Center. Then the 4 o'clock 3A boys, same story, winner to regional, loser out. It'd be Marysville Getchell Chargers and the Everett Seagulls at 4 o'clock. Then games here on STSPN, the 3A girls championship. It'll be the Stilley Cup of basketball, girls basketball, the Arlington Eagles, the Stanwood Spartans at 6 o'clock. Arlington Eagles boys and Montlake Terrace at 8 o'clock. Nayland Sood against Nick Brown, the coaches there. And here we go. It is Issaquah with the basketball, down by 17 points, equaling their biggest lead of the game for Mount Si. Outside three ball, too hard, no good by DeBrule. And the rebound controlled by Mount Si. They'll slow things down.
Really tough. You got your two leading scorers with only 4 points each, and Chase and
here's
Trevor Hennig.
Where's the defense at? He just went right around everybody, his own team and everybody. He just says, I'll take it on in and get the bucket.
He plays above the rim. You see how seamless he got up there and finger rolled that thing? He is a true athlete.
As they work the ball now, Issaquah does down low, closed off there for Kardowski. Outside three ball. That's going to be a miss. Missed by Rorda. And the lead is 19 points. Biggest lead of the game for Mount Si. As they look down low, back out for an outside three ball on the way. It's going to be a miss there by Blake Forrest. Controlled by Issaquah going in. Dideker up and in. Chasing Dideker. A little early offense, so released early after the turnover. And it's 41-24, 17-point lead.
That's what it's going to take. Defense, get some stops, defend, rebound, run. That's the recipe for Issaquah for the rest of the game.
See what they do here. What Mount Si does is they'll put up kind of a short-armed one. It's going to be a miss there. And the rebound controlled, back up and in. There's a lay-in up good by Tate Smith. He picks up his 4th point of the ball game. It's 41-26. It was 19, now it's 15 points.
Don't want to beat the same drum, but that's what worked. They defend really well. They got the rebound, and they took off for a fast break point.
That's Olujic with it. Now down low, it goes to Heidi, up and in. He just bangs his body and makes some space for himself.
Nothing you can do about that. Tate had his hands up, even gave him a little bit of a bump, and still too easy.
Here's a fadeaway jumper. Switch it goes for Charlie Rorda. It's 43-28. He picks up his 4th point of the ball. Its fours are wild. 4 guys with 4 points each for Issaquah on the board. See what happens here for Mount Si. There's kind of no-look pass it around the perimeter right side. It goes to Hennig, and now bounce it back out. 8 to shoot now. Making some space for himself, going in, down low to Heidi, laying up and good. Move it, move it, move it. Use about 28 seconds and get a bucket.
You know that skill set right there with Trevor. Dribbling through traffic, jump stop he touch paint, jump stop, nice easy pass to Heidi for the easy 2. It's textbook.
Outside three will not go. Carter DeBrule with the miss. 1:33 to play in the game, in the third quarter, excuse me. This time Heidi can't handle it. I don't think he knew it was coming. He was going in to get a rebound. And other thoughts was Blake Forrest rifled the pass right off his chest plate. Right off the sternum.
I mean, you can't put it any better.
Oh, they're changing. Boy, I thought it was off of.
Oh, I thought they had it right.
Yeah, they've changed their mind. And they're going to award it.
I guess referees do change the call.
I thought it went right off his chest and out of bounds.
See,
well, ball never lies.
Ball
right?
don't lie. Oh, they're giving it to them again.
Yeah. Brad Valentine's got 1 foot on the court. The assistants are putting their arms out like, what do we have to do to get a call here? So it'll be still with 15 to shoot. And that's Forrest with it. Give it off to Hennig.
Good defense.
Good defense there. Ball knocked away. Foul called in backcourt with 1:12 to go. the whistle. Hennig picks up the foul. That's his first personal foul and the second team foul of the half here against Mount Si. Coming up on a minute to play in the third quarter. As they work it to Kodoski. Now Dideker with it. He goes around the defense, goes in, laying up, swatted out of there by Heidi. Backed out for a three on the way. Won't go. Missed by Kodoski. And rebound here controlled by Hennig. Out of backcourt. Lost the handle on it. It's going to be picked up by Kodoski. He feeds it forward. It goes to Dideker. Back to Kodoski. 25 to shoot. 40 seconds on the third quarter clock. With it is Vincent Crow. Corner. Side jumper. Three ball. No. Missed by Dideker. And rebound controlled by Mount Si. Here come the Wildcats. About a 2-second differential. 22 to shoot now. As Hennig will just work it out on top. Trevor Hennig, the 6'4" junior guard. Down to 11 seconds to shoot. They're just playing for one. Heidi has it way out on top of the key. Down to 6, down to 5 to shoot. Still looking. Hennig has it. Turnaround three ball on the way. Won't go. That'll reset the clock, and that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter with the score. The outside Wildcats 45, Issaquah Eagles 28. Will decide the 4A boys district champion right after this timeout.
SWCC is an acronym, and it stands for Special Warfare Combatant Craft Crewman.
You know, you can stand across from the guy and say, you know what, he's got your back. And, you know, that's the guy you're counting on. If something goes wrong, he's going to be there.
In the end, we're fighting for each other.
Wolfpack, this is Witch Doctor requesting immediate hot extract taken on.
Here on a team, about 22 of us on the boat. You know them personally, so you know exactly whose life you have in your hands.
Everyone's come together, and everyone's sole mission is to do their job individually as best they can to benefit everyone else in the boat.
I got a brotherhood, and it's a real brotherhood, and it's a loyal and honest brotherhood, and that's what matters.
Yep. 45-28. The scores. We head into the fourth quarter here. Pretty much this one's been decided unless something magical happens with Issaquah.
And here's the deal, Issaquah lost to Mount Si by over 20 points each time. These last 8 minutes, you want to feel good about yourself going to that next level. So hopefully we see them competing out here this quarter, and they can walk out of here, win or lose, feeling a little bit better and prepared.
Right now at the RPI, Issaquah, as they get a little turnaround jumper up and good by Carter DeBrule. Issaquah, the state RPI number 18, so you got to figure they're going to be in that lower half of the bracket. They're going to have to win their way in through the regionals next week.
Which they've been doing.
Sure.
They had a we talked about at the top, they had a journey on their way to this game, so don't count them out.
Yeah, Issaquah, as we mentioned, lost the last regular season game to Mount Si, 78-52. Then they got wins in the postseason against Bothell, Newport, Bothell again, Jackson, and Skyline. It's a pretty good team.
Really good teams right there, yeah.
There's an air ball. It's going to be a miss for Dideker. And it will be, well, they're going to say it was last touch. Trevor Hennig's kind of arguing his case. I think he thought that it wasn't touched by a Wildcat. But Scott Federley says, I'm going to hand it to this guy wearing black, and he plays for Issaquah. And on we go. On top, Dideker, out by the logo. On the dribbles. Switches down to one to shoot. They don't get it off. I don't think anybody said, hey, there's only this much time left on the shot clock.
You know what? I'll give it to that Issaquah bench. I heard them counting down.
Yep.
That's everyone has a role, whether you're on the court or you're not. And that bench was trying to help him out. You gotta listen to him.
So there's more than just going D up, D up, D up.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to talk about that. I can't stand that.
No, me neither. Go to the state tournament, that's all you hear. 8 games a day. Outside 3 ball on the way, won't go. Back up and in. Hennig with the miss. And then Hennig with the make.
13th point of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at him as our adrenaline fundraising player of the game. They'll be cutting down the nets afterwards. AC will be down on the floor. Little reverse lay-in, up and good. That by Vincent Crow. And the timeout called on the floor. Still coaching them up. They're not done. Issaquah's not done.
No, and you want to run your stuff. You want to be able to have an opportunity in a real game against a state level team, and you want to be able to run your stuff. So, again, like I said earlier, you want to walk off this court feeling like you competed and that you got better. You know, either you win or you learn.
Yep. You know, and the thing is, you don't know when it's all seeded out who you're going to play and what team you're going to play, and if it's a Chiawana or if it's a team from Hudson's Bay or whatever from down, and their big guys hurt or their leading scorers, you don't know who you're going to be.
Or you just it's all about the matchup, right? You might match up bad against Mount Si, but then you play another team that doesn't have 6'9", 6'8", 6'7". Then it's a different style.
And how many times when we got to the state tournament, you go, why are these guys here and they're 11 and 14? They don't even have a 500 record. Yeah, but it's where you played, who you played, and when you played them.
Exactly. And like we talked about Issaquah. Issaquah's not supposed to be here, but they got better throughout the year.
Yeah, especially here in the postseason. So we continue here in the fourth quarter, 47-32. The lead is 15. So Mount Si hasn't run away and hidden here from Issaquah, which is a credit probably to Issaquah the way they play defense. And Heidi's been in foul trouble. He missed that lay-in.
Issaquah coming out with the zone. I talked to the coach before the game. I thought he was going to change it up more frequently throughout. Obviously, he didn't get there, but now we're seeing a zone from Issaquah. Slows the game down a little bit, but you better make sure you rebound if you're going to be in a zone.
As they're working around the right side, Kate Smith lost the handle on it, then controlled back, then knocked into backcourt. I thought maybe it was a call for over and back. There isn't. They swing it back out, going in. Thought the referee to my left, standing up here on the third floor, is calling travel. Here's a fadeaway foul line jumper up and good. Charlie Rhoda with the bucket for the Eagles. They worked it and worked it and worked it. And they get it to within 13 at 47-34.
Hey, and 13 is not that many points.
No.
So, again, it starts on the defensive end.
As they'll work it down, see what they do defensively here. What does Mount Si do as they swing it out? They turn it over. They turn it over. It was a bad pass.
That zone giving him fits.
Blake Forrester going, what are you doing? Threw the ball out of bounds. So it will be Issaquah basketball as Bonofsky will go off. Mount Si looks almost tired, don't they?
Yeah, we talked about how some of these things were coming easy for them. They get frustrated too, but
they just have so much depth and talent that
that's the thing. That's the thing. It's you need everybody if you're going to beat Mount Si. You need everyone to show up.
Kodosky with that last bucket. Now the Mount Si Wildcats will work it. Blake Forrest on the dribble. He gets it back. They work it to the corner. Inside to Heidi, and Heidi looking down low. The ball's going to be, who's got it? Finally, it's going to be won there by Turley. Then outside for a shot that won't go for Alujic. Well, I thought he was going to go up with it. Hennig, I thought he was going to bury that three, and he didn't take it.
Go smart.
Yeah. Coming up on halfway through this fourth quarter and leading it. And here is a turnover, a steal, and a missed lay-in. A missed lay-in, got the steal, did everything perfect, Kodosky, and then we'll go the other end. Heidi gets traveled, commits a turnover. Issaquah, boy, it would have been a different game if he makes that lay-in.
I was just going to say that. It becomes a 9-point game, and then you get another stop. You get it within 7 with 3.5 to go. That's not a terrible situation against this team.
So here comes Issaquah, down by 11, 36 and 47. Underneath, they had it pretty low down there for DeBrule. 13 to shoot. Rorta, they're not really looking yet. Down to 7 seconds to go. Rorta to the baseline, kicks it back out for 3 on the way. Down it goes for Kadoski.
Big shot.
Single digits now. It's 39-47, 8 points. 8-point lead for Mount Si. They've only scored 2 points here in this quarter. Going in, laying up, no good. A miss there, but a reload by Mount Si. 3 rattles and goes.
You know who it is.
It is Trevor Hennig. Rattles one home and opens up an 11-point lead again at 50-39. We'll step out. 2:54 to go in the fourth quarter. Back with more after this.
Big shot.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, breathe in. Now watch your speed and breathe out. Good. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires.
We're sending Alex Clausius down to the floor. We'll talk with our player of the game. You know, 11 points right now. A little run here, and they could maybe scare him a little bit. Issaquah.
Yeah, and you know, there's a 5-point swing when you miss a point-blank layup with no defense, and then you're giving up offensive rebounds. The last 2 possessions, they've had 3 or 4 shots at this thing, you know, and so you're not going to put Mount Si away if you give them that many shots. But if you make a stop, then it's a 5-point swing, and you're not talking about 11, you're talking about 6.
One of the guys that works with me on basketball, Joel Boyer, stop, bucket, stop. Let's just go increments, right?
It's a simple game, right?
So if they can get the bucket here was what they would need for Issaquah. And a foul called. That's only going to be an out of bounds here. It's going to be a fresh 30 on the shot clock, but they were using some time anyway. Foul is called on Turley, his first, 3rd team foul. Not a lot of fouls called in this ball game with 2:42 to play. On the inbounds it goes, fadeaway jumper, front of the iron, no, a miss by Crow, rebound controlled by Mount Si. So 2.5 minutes to play in the game, an 11-point lead. Not insurmountable, but they didn't get the bucket part of the, but they got to steal, they got to stop.
Stops, yep.
But can they take advantage on the other end? Dribbling in against the big guy.
Standing offensively.
Yeah, you gotta go. A sense of urgency here. Outside Rorta, will he take a 3? No, he goes in closer, goes in laying up, missed it. He went to the floor, no call, missed the lay-in. Inside 2 minutes to play now, and Mount Si has the basketball. They couldn't capitalize.
Twice, great hesitation, went to the cup, possession before, took a shot that you can get at any time. So shot selection is going to be important once you get those stops.
Did fine on the defensive end. Down low, Mount Si goes. They can afford to take some time. They are down to 6 to shoot, and then they got it down to 5 to shoot, and up it goes and down it goes for Trevor Hennig. He's got 18, and he will be our Adrenaline Fundraiser player of the game. Nice shot there.
Trevor makes that look easy, but let me tell you something. That shot fake, off the dribble, pull up, like that shot in a game is not easy. Well, it's not easy when there is no defense.
Yeah, and he just had the shots, he had the buckets when they really needed them.
Yes.
We're going to stop them from score. They've scored 4 points. We're going to stop them. Yeah.
And a guy like that, you watch him play, you watch Trevor play, he plays at his own pace. He doesn't, you know, when they did lose against Skyline, it was because they took him out of his rhythm. I've never seen him like that. He's back and he's got his pace, and He is, like usual, one of the best players on the court.
Timeout on the floor. We'll keep it right here. Again, we'll have the presentation of the trophy coming up. We'll hear from the victorious head coach, Jason Griffin, and our player of the game, Trevor Hennig, here coming up in our post-game show. We have a little Neil Diamond going on here.
You know, for Issaquah, you got to the point in the fourth quarter where it was like a 9-point. Was it 9? Did they get down to 9 points?
Yep.
You know, after losing to this team by 20 plus at both times, like, you got to feel good about it. Now I hope they can still. I know you're down. I hope you finish the last minute and walk out of here feeling really good and confident going into your next game.
So out of bounds here for Issaquah, the final minute of play. Charlie Rorda has it. Now going down is Tate Smith, lost the handle.
Trevor with the steal, doing it on both ends.
They'll bring it out of backcourt. Mount Si with the big lead now at 15 points with 40 seconds to go. That's Hennig. Down low, going in, little backdoor lob inside, up and in. Good shot there for Bennett Alujic, and we're down to inside 30 seconds to play in the game. A little step through move, scoop lay-in won't go. Boy, a lot of missed shots, missed opportunities here for Issaquah.
When you play Mount Si, you need a hit. You need a hit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as simple as that with the level of talent they have. And it's not just the level of talent. Let me tell you, Coach Griff does a real good job throughout the year. Not only do they have talent, but they get better. He coaches them up. He prepares them really well. They're always, every game, they're prepared.
And here come the second stringers coming in. He doesn't go very deep, though.
No, not like years past. You know, he's got. He has about six. He has seven-man rotation.
Yep.
Obviously, when Miles went out, he probably went to a guy or two that he normally doesn't that early in the game. But yeah, it's going to be key for them to keep Miles on the court if they want to make a deep run.
Keith Ozayata is out there. Jake Moore is out there. Try to get to all the names here. Marshall Smith, as we said, Jake Moore there. Out topside, Jack Taylor. Did I get everybody, or do I have one more? I think that was it. That will be it, and that will be the final score as Mount Si wins the 4A District Championship. The final score of 56-40. We will step aside. We'll come back. We'll talk with the head coach and our fundraising player of the game as we come back. Again, the final score, Mount Si 56, Issaquah 40. Back with our postgame right after this. And we're going to have the trophy presentation here. Mount Si will make their way to the logo, the Trojan logo in the center of the floor, and receive the district championship trophy, and then they'll get to cut down the nets. Now, there are some teams that don't want to cut down the nets because they think the last net you cut down would be the most important, and that they hope that's how the Tacoma Dome.
Yeah, you know how it is with sports. We all kind of have our thing. But I know these guys. I know Griff. This is what they expected to do. This is just part of the road, part of the path. But they have bigger goals in mind.
And so they are getting their picture taken here. As 56-40 the final. Mount Si wins the Wes-King by District 4A Boys Championship. The tournament here at Everett Community College.
Getting used to saying that, aren't we?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, let's go down to, we're gonna go down to the I've always wondered that sometimes they'll cut down the same net they just put up. No, you want the used one.
Yeah, you want the used one. You don't want it to be clean.
No, you want some brand new out of the package one. And we're gonna head down. Let's go down.
Coach, fended off a pesky Issaquah team today. What's it feel like to see the kids cut down the nets?
It's good for Jake Moore. He's a great kid. Been in our program for 4 years. We're gonna have him cut the whole thing down, baby.
He's learning. He's learning as we go.
Yep.
So I wanted to talk about the guards really quick. We always see, the New York City skyline of 6'7", 6'8", down in those bigger numbers. But Forrest and Hennig, and Hennig's going to be our player of the game today. Talk to me about them. Those guards have been just great for you guys.
I mean, to me, they're going to be the best back in the backcourt in the state next year. We're excited to have them back for another year. Trevor's special, so is Blake. They've played with each other since 3rd grade. They got great chemistry on the court. So it's fun to be around them, fun to coach them, and fun to see them develop.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, AC, with head coach Jason Griffith of the Mount Si Wildcats. And they are making them cut down the whole thing, aren't they?
It's fun to watch this. The guys that put in all the work in practice don't get that much playing time.
Yeah.
Like I said, everyone has a role, and when we talk about culture, let's go to Trevor.
I'm just keeping them going over here. I'm with the Adrenaline Fundraising STSPN player of the game, Trevor Hennig. Trevor, great game today. But first I have to ask, Jake cut the nets. What's this mean for you to see him get up there and do that, and of course with your whole team right next to you?
Yeah, for sure. He's been in our program for pretty much his whole life. So just to see him in that moment, just it's he'll remember it for a lifetime. So yeah, it's cool.
You got some good moves out there. Did Coach Griffith help you with those, or is that someone else teaching you? But you look great out there today.
Thank you. No, it's really everybody. Coach Griffith helped me a lot. My parents a ton, but yeah, it was really just a group effort. My teammates helped me, get open looks, and I was able to knock them down today.
What's the number one key for you guys to go to state, or to win state? What's the number one key for you guys?
I think it's just playing together. If we can play together, we truly believe, we can hang with anyone. So, if we do that, we have a good chance of winning it. So.
Awesome. You're a player of the game. Back to you, Tom.
Okay, thanks very much, AC, for all your work today. Final comments there, Shaheen?
Mount Si is going to be a problem for anybody they play. For a lot of teams.
And you, like I said during the broadcast, you wonder how good Federal Way is. Of course, and the RPI is not everything.
No, and you don't know what these teams are coming in, if they're coming in healthy, if they're coming in, playing the type of basketball that the coaches want them to play, or are they just better against the talent for a given night? You just never know. And so that's why we love Tacoma.
That's right. That's exactly right. Well, thanks for being with us tonight.
Absolutely. This was really fun.
We will tell you that tomorrow, 2 more broadcasts here on STSPN.com and also on KRKO Radio. 3A Girls District Championship, 6 o'clock, Arlington Eagles, Stanwood Spartans here at Everett Community College. And then the 3A Boys Championship, the Arlington Eagles and the Montlake Terrace Hawks tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So for Sarah and Todd Elvig, for Shaheen Lotfi, and for Alex Clausius, I'm Tom Lafferty reminding you of tonight's final score from Everett Community College. The Mount Si Wildcats 56, the Issaquah Eagles 40. Good night, everybody.